Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, the obvious topic, just like last week, we're going to be talking about the patch 5.1 preliminary notes. We got some easy shows in the coming weeks with patch, ultimate, everything else in between. And I'm sure that with what we learned today, there's probably going to be a crafting show that needs to be had. See you soon, Ash! But before then, let's focus on the here and the now. I'm one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Happy Pope. Of course, joining me is Slyh, aka Slythefox, aka Slyh, aka Greyfox, aka my boy Blue. How you doing, Slyh?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
I want to die, but other than that, you know, there's a lot going on.
Please don't die.
Well, last week it was my first day of Ring Fit, and now it's the first day of week 2 of Ring Fit, and I want to die. That's fair. I feel
good stuff.
Yeah. And you guys know it couldn't just be Slyh and I talking about all this. We needed to bring another voice in, and we've only had him on the show once before, but we often get requests to bring him back. And that is your favorite boy, Tate. Goldentot, how you doing? Which one do you want me to go for the whole show? Just Tate? Tate's easier?
We'll go with Tate. It's all good.
All right.
Old Tater.
Yeah, Tater Tot. How you doing, Tate?
Not too bad, man. I also want to die, but that's because I play Beat Saber every day, so we're kind of cut from the same cloth right now.
Yeah, I squeeze, you swing. That I don't like it. Moving on. I don't.
No, I got it, man. Right after this, I'm gonna be playing, homie. Let's go.
There we go. There we go. That's it. Is this how cults begin?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just making sure. But there's no cults on Twitch, so I'm sure we'll be fine. It'll be okay in the end.
Yeah, they call them teams here, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Streamers. Yeah, there's a few different terms for it. Oh, it's good to have you on, though.
Yeah, it's good to be on. Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. Before we get started, though, just want to remind people of the sponsors for the show. Steel Series, as it is every week in the YouTube description. We always have a free giveaway every month. I actually pulled a winner just after last week's show because the competition had just ended after the show had already finished up. So I already pulled that winner, sent them an email, and they're already getting their prize. So make sure you go to the YouTube comment section of this video when it comes out and enter there because it's free stuff from Steel Series and they sponsor the show. Of course, we also have our patrons, but you know we like to give the pictures and everything towards the end. Just a quick little reminder, they are scrolling in the top right, and we appreciate them for their support as well. Patrons of Darkness, we'll get you a shout out later on. So yeah, Slyh especially. Slyh, don't think that thing that happened once before ain't gonna happen again at some point, by the way. I just want you to know that now. I'm gonna surprise you at some point, okay? You know what I'm talking about, Slyh. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't like surprises.
But you already know now it's not a surprise. Now it's just going to be when it happens. It's going to drop in your stream one day and you're going to be like, hey, look, how are you doing? I'm going to be like, yo, watch this. Bam! Knock him out cold. With cash. That was fun. I want to do it again.
That's how I want to go out.
No.
I made him cry. It was great.
Aww.
Summon Satan. Yeah, but he would like that. That's like his thing with Persona. And Shibagami Tensei in general. All right, gentlemen.
Did you say Tensei? Are we going to argue about this?
Listen, look at me. I have an excuse.
All right.
See? Yeah, I mean, it's that or Dick Chariot, which, as we can see, he apparently has obtained the Dick Chariot.
No, it's Satan.
Oh, I couldn't tell. You weren't holding it up very high, so I couldn't see if it was a Dick Chariot or not. I just saw you petting it. So I was like, Dick Chariot makes perfect sense. All right. We've got a lot of patch notes to talk about. I think we need a hard cap on the show at 2 hours because I think we're not going to finish in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So before we get into any specifics, is there anything stand out here that you'd like to go over first? Something that you were like, you know what, no matter what, we can't miss talking about this. Could be anything. Well, except fishing, Slyh.
We're going to get to that eventually anyway, but Tate, you are the guest. Anything stand out to you?
Just job changes mostly is what I'm more interested in than anything, but you know, we're going to get to those anyway.
Yeah, those are
nothing
100%.
In particular.
What about you, Slyh? As I'm assuming, I think job changes are on most people's minds above anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially the crafting changes. Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of that goes over my head a little bit, but I can interpret. You got to remember, I have everything at 80. I haven't crafted an item in 2 years, so
Good.
We don't need
I mean,
you
it's,
anyway.
it's not. Yeah, you don't need to anyway because like it's back, sort of at square one, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
It just means that I don't have a grasp. Like, I can see a bunch of things being added, a bunch of things being removed, but my actual grasp on how what the result is kind of, it's different. That's all I've got. I haven't read anyone's opinions or an expert opinion on that. But since you both want to talk about job changes, while they're about 33% down through the patch notes, I think everyone wants us to talk about those first. Anyway.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and knock them out.
So the tanks we don't need to talk about too much, thankfully. We pretty much had most of this in the live letter. Sentinel, Shadow Wall, Nebula, and Vengeance all back up to 15 seconds. Apparently they were 15 seconds in Stormblood, and I lost that information in my brain.
Were they?
Yeah, exactly. You having the exact same reaction I had. I was like, no, they weren't. Those were never 15. And then little by little, I found like old, like people were like linking me things, and I'm like, they were.
I can't say anything. I didn't tank in Stormblood at all. I thought tanking in Stormblood was boring, so I just avoided it.
It blew my mind. Well, Vengeance was. Specifically, Vengeance was. Sorry.
Okay.
But even still, it blew my mind because I didn't know. Warrior got some additional stuff. Home Gang to 8, Raw Intuition to 6. So, because we needed more defensive cooldowns in...
I guess.
I gotta wonder, what do you... I think Home Gang is the thing that makes the sense to me more than anything else here. Because it's like the only one that you have to treat differently from the rest for like certain mechanics that like last a certain amount of time. But do we really need these tank the AoE reprisal, which is great, by the way.
Dungeons. I mean, I'm hoping this is kind of a glimpse into the fact that maybe we'll get more ads and raids or something like that. I mean, I know it's not the issue. We're just gonna get all this shit and then everything's gonna be easier. It's just I know. I'm trying to be hopeful here, but I mean, it's cool for dungeons. I'm down with another dungeon cooldown.
You know, I still think back to the Media Tour, because between the Media Tour and the live release, I felt like the damage that we experienced in that dungeon in particular went down. I felt like it was higher when we experienced it at the Media Tour. But
I agree. But also, we might not have just really known the tools we were working with.
We were pretty dumb that one day. We didn't know anything. We didn't know much about it at all.
But do you think they scaled it back based on your feedback? Because people at the media...
No, because our feedback was all extremely positive about it. Like, we were all really excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember the one main person having feedback mainly was Zeno about tanks, but other than that, like, everybody was just positive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone was like, we were super excited to get our hands. Like, we didn't foresee even remotely half the issues, and some of them didn't spring up until after the game had actually launched with the job changes that came there. All I know is I wish I hadn't leveled my tanks first, because that was the first roll I got all of them done on, I think.
Yeah, me too.
So it might have been healer, but it was one of the two. Either way, I won't get to enjoy these things as much because I don't tank dungeons very often. I tank like hunts. I'm dead. It doesn't. I just do it to tank and Vuln mechanics, so I don't have to do anything. It's the only reason. But that's pretty much it for the tanks with the AoE reprisal. It'll just be better in dungeons. Hopefully now we have to really remind players that, you know, to use certain things like arm's length and reprisal, because a lot of them don't do it in dungeons at all.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And now we get to point of contention number 1 of many. Monk.
Everyone's favorite right now. Totally not split down the middle as to how people see it. Yeah.
So let's start with the easy ones. Rockbreaker's AoE now.
God bless.
I have to ask the obvious question. Why can't that just be everyone? I want quick knockdown on Bard, and I want wide volley. I want wide volley back for Bard above all else. But I look at Warrior with overpower as well, and anything with a conal AoE, and I go, listen, you're doing it to one. Just do it to every. Like once you've started down this path, you've unlocked everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. I guess they don't want to make every class feel the same.
They already did that.
But
it's fine.
Monk,
we're past that.
Yeah. But like Monk had this issue where its AoE rotation was just stupid. It felt weird to do. For me, at least. I didn't really care for it. Having to position myself and then go in, and then position myself and then go in. It was weird.
It's great on Bard too. Promise. I promise. Mantra, they said they were nerfing this during the live letter. I think it's reasonable. Monk is one of the highest DPS jobs, having a 20% increase to AoE healing. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's not really didn't really need to happen. I guess it just makes sense on paper.
Yeah.
This next change doesn't make sense on any paper. Papyrus, like Staples brand, it doesn't matter. Before we talk about, let me just say I'm not a fan of an Anatman now. I don't like it. It's actually one of the main reasons I stopped playing Monk.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted Anatman changes. I don't think this was it. I don't. Anatman's now on the GCD, essentially. Which they've used a lot of words to say that, by the way.
They do that every time they like Ninja looks its updates look like a mess now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird.
So now there's one of two results I feel comes from this. One, we get an even more jank opener, which I've already seen people discussing the idea of you prepping an Anatman before the pull and like face pulling with it, and then getting the charge like the second that you go into combat, and then you start everything else, or just outright replacing it with the GCD. But I think most people just want to stop using it outside of what its intended purpose was.
I would literally just stop using it.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. People will be like, "Come on, apps, why don't it's optimal?" I'll be like, "Yeah, you know what? I don't care. I just don't care. I don't think this was the right choice. I think they should have just made it instantly.
I don't think they know what the hell they're doing with it.
I think Monk needs a rework. I think we finally hit the realization that Monk needs like a ninja or a machinist level rework.
The only thing that I could imagine they could do to a Anatman right now is make it an OGCD that just gives you a stack or refreshes your stacks. And that's it. That's all you can do with it.
Great level 80 skill. Yes, yeah, samurais, listen, you don't get to complain about level 80 skills. Look what we're dealing with over here. All right, your shit makes sense now. All right. I don't know if this means Monk's out. Like, I don't, with what we're going to talk about soon, I mean, Ninja and Dragoon are they're looking pretty juicy right now based on these patches. Yeah, Slyh, we'll get to talking about that like right now as a matter. It's the next job down on the list, Slyh. Slyh, you want to talk to me about these Dragoon changes here, because we got into it a little bit last week. You said they didn't need any changes. That was the consensus. You weren't asking for anything. You listed about 6 different things you would change, and this doesn't look like any of them. So
not me necessarily. Not me necessarily.
You listed about 6 things that you had like, yeah, you know, if they could adjust that, maybe it could be that, you know.
6 possibilities.
Yeah.
But none of them. So fuck our entire lives. We just have Blood of the Dragon all the time now, right? It's just
that's how it was. Yeah. Let's not kid ourselves that it wasn't like this before this change already. Like Blood of the Dragon was some fucking problem before this change. It wasn't. You know it wasn't. Mm-hmm. So that's usability, by the way.
This is done. That's a change for dungeons. That's all it is.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty much.
And even still, it's like...
Even still, I never dropped it in dungeons as it was, because I would just start AoEing as we were bowling.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, you literally just need to get one attack off and then refresh it. It's not even I have no idea. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it for dungeons, I guess, because I take Dragoon into Expert all the time. Ow. My cat just fucking scratched my ass.
At least my cat only scratches my leg. I know that feeling, though. I got scars up and down my leg. So, yeah, I got to be careful about itching my leg, or I get blood just down the side. It's happened during the show a few times. You don't know that, but it has. Slyh, I've just had blood dripping down my leg from time to time. And then you got 30 potency to Jair's Kogel, 50 to Mirage Dive, 50 to Star Diver. You know, just throwing on some, just a few abilities. Use those abilities sometimes.
Usability.
They did say firepower as well. They did say firepower as well when you look at the full unofficials from last week.
I mean, that right there alone is 80 potency every 30 seconds. Like, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it sure is, Slyh. How you feeling about that?
Why are you saying my name? I didn't ask
Because
for the shit.
listen, you're my weak lead Dragoon. He brings it into expert. You're my weak lead Dragoon, Sly.
I'm doing ultimate on Dragoon. I did hardcore prog on Dragoon.
Yeah, but
hardcore.
Do you need a dancer? I still can't find a fucking ultimate group, dude. Nobody wants range physical for fucking 12-hour days. There's so many of us. There's too many of us. Can't do it.
None of y'all give me fucking dance. So fuck you.
Listen, that's because I'm not on Primal, Sly. How you feel? No, I get Sly every week. How you feeling, Sly? How you feeling about all this? Talk to me.
Good.
You feeling good?
I mean, what more can I say? We're a little more harder hitting.
Yeah, that's a word for it. Yeah. Sly, I feel like what you don't realize is that you say things about not wanting it, but I feel like deep down, every time you see this, there's butterflies like rising up out of your stomach. Like, I don't need it.
It's more of a, oh shit. They're going to think I asked for the shit. I didn't. I mean, it's good on paper.
On paper, it's good in killing too.
Well, what were the changes you were hoping for or expecting?
It wasn't even changes I was hoping for.
Just stuff you thought would happen.
I said it could, if in terms of usability, I said it could go in one of many ways. They could really make it drop that easy and make ride and thrust proc at 100%. Just
without positionals.
Yeah,
just
that'd be terrible.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, but would you be surprised? Tate.
Yeah, I think I would.
That might be a realization soon enough, I think, honestly. Like not now, but maybe like pretty late in the expansion cycle. Maybe.
AoE was a big one, Sly.
The most AoE. This was your idea though.
Well, mine was that I thought they would just add disembowel to the AoE combo, like to extend it in the AoE combo. I'm like, that's usability.
I didn't really expect that because Dragoon's AoE is already so damn strong.
It sure is. And they get Blood of the Dragon refreshes on AoE, so they have something refreshing. Right? But that was I was like, that's the only thing I could think of for usability. That's it. It wasn't that.
The very least likely thing was to revert back to 4.0 Dragoon and make Spine Shudder give an eye.
That's greedy.
That would be nuts.
So, that would be nuts because you would open with Life of the Dragon. So that would extend your opener a little bit.
For that 15 second trick window that we have now. That ain't happening, boys.
Yeah.
So Dragoon's stronger now. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, Dragoon. You're up there.
I still want them to reduce the animation on Stardiver. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, no more clipping.
Yeah, I clip. I can have the best ping in the world and I'll clip no matter what.
I haven't leveled it. I haven't leveled any of the 4 melees. 4 melees and Red Mage. The 5 jobs I haven't finished leveling yet. Because I just didn't want to play any of them at the time.
Yeah.
Ninja. I don't know how much we need to talk about this because it's all pretty in line with everything they told us last week.
Yeah.
Like Mug's 120. There's some potency buffs. I mean, the closest thing we get is like the flat potencies on some things. Like, Shadowfang having a 70-second recast and lasting 30 seconds and also having its initial potency and its damage over time potency buffed and being taken off of the combo. So it's just, I feel like we're coming full circle. We had so many off combo fucking dots and they got rid of all of them. And now they're like one by one giving them back. Like, just like, we've got it. We figured it out now. It's okay to actually do this.
Mm-hmm.
How long before we get Fracture, Scourge, Touch of Death's coming back? How long? It's on
How many
way.
OG CDs does Ninja even have anymore? It's got Mug and Trick Attack and Assassinate.
Assassinate.
That's
Dream
it.
Within
a
Dream.
Kasatsu,
to get to Assassinate.
I guess.
Yeah, Kasatsu, Dream Within a Dream, Mug.
Bava. It's still got a fair amount, I guess.
It's got some. There's a few in there. Bunshin. I mean, some of it's just buffs that they act like Bunshin and
yeah,
stuff like that. But
so I like everything about the ninja changes, but I'm still a little apprehensive on what they're doing with Mudras because it seems like it's really going to feel like it's going to slow the job down a whole lot, which I guess is necessary from like a standpoint designing around people's ping.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
I thought that until Yoshi P did this like little like makeshift opener in the live letter, and I was like, I don't know what just happened. He lost me so fast. I just saw so many things fly by. So I think maybe between trick attack between like your super full like everything at once trick attack windows maybe, but it'll also probably be playable for some people now. I think might be the biggest takeaway. And Tenchi Jin, like they have two charts. This confused the hell out of me. 10/Chi/Jin versus Tenchi Jin. I suddenly regret them naming the ability Tenchi Jin just for sake of today.
Yeah. I
was like, wait, Tenchi Jin has two
they
charges?
could just say like Mudras and I would understand it more.
Yeah. And then the potencies on all the ninjutsu went.
Oh yeah. Well, because you have to give up a GCD for them now, so they have to be huge.
Yeah.
Like good lord. The what's it called? Yosho Ranryu 1200 potency is absolutely bonkers.
And apparently somebody said they checked the Japanese notes and Kasatsu.
The Kasatsu, yeah, it's there. In ours, it says Kasatsu is a 15-second cooldown, and that's definitely not gonna. Absolutely not. That would give us a Yosho Ranryu every 15 seconds, 1200 potency.
Yeah, and the other thing was the damage that it actually because it provides a boost to damage. Apparently, I didn't know that. Somebody said that I don't know. I don't play Ninja. It's still at 70. So yeah,
I've been playing it lately. I really like Ninja right now. It's just the Mudras that I don't like.
See, my problem was Ninki and Stormblood. I didn't like Ninki. Now I like it. I hated 80 as a cost and 100 as a cap. I said maybe just make it 120 as the cap. Now it's 50 and 50, and it's, you can hold up to 100.
God bless. Honestly, it's amazing. I'm really excited about that change. That's like Ninja is one of those like really stressful jobs where you have to get everything out immediately or else you're losing stuff. Where it's like you have 3 GCDs to use your Ninki, you have to use your Mudras. The second they come off cooldown, you're going to lose Mudras throughout the fight and stuff like that. But now it's like you have your double stacked Mudras, so you don't have to use them every 20 seconds on the dot, and you can hold your Ninki. So it's a lot more lenient now, and I'm cool with that. I like it.
And not only that, but Meisui is a 50. Like it's a flat 50, so it's just one.
It's a free Baba Kakra.
Yeah.
Or Bunshin if you need it. Yeah.
I'd imagine you trick attack into Tenchi Jin and then just on top of that Meisui the Suiton at the end of the Tenchi Jin and then just convert that.
Oh man, and Tenchi Jins are gonna go out so fast now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Dude, that was hype when I saw that in the live letter. I was like, oh.
I feel like that's something everybody's been begging for. Like, because that's the only way we could change it, right? That's like the only thing people could possibly think to actually make it useful. So it's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah.
But yeah, so the JP notes still say that Kasatsu is a 30% damage increase on top, so it's really 1560 potency. If it were to actually be a 15-second recast on that's the technical step every 15 seconds. So that has to be wrong. Imagine a technical step every 15 seconds.
Yeah,
Ninja would literally look at Black Mage and be like, amateur. Pathetic. Oh man. The Bunshin changes are big. No, I brought up a discussion point about this on a YouTube video yesterday, and because my chat brought it up to me. So Bunshin now has the 5 charges, so it just lasts for 5 weapon skills, and then it's 30 seconds, like total duration. Are we thinking they might do that to other jobs?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
for like blood weapon and stuff like that. Yeah,
Machinist hypercharge, another one. I saw some people say the number of casts under Request Cat was another one as well. Like people just started listing them off as like, now what? Now like look at
they can do it for everything, But like I kind of hope they don't, because then that would be like, why even use skill speed anymore? Like why? Because I kind of like the whole like comfy windows for stuff like Delirium and and stuff like that. Like it adds something kind of interesting to the job as far as stat weights go, but I would really like it for some of the more tricky things, like the more ping reliant things. Blood weapon is kind of a piece of shit. And then hypercharge or whatever.
There's a lot. I feel like they should probably use it sparingly, but I mean, even just adding the display for triple cast, it feels like even that kind of leans into this direction, like having that as a more prevalent thing. I mean, by 6.0, if they're going to do it more, we'll probably see it in job gauges, even. Because right now, Bunshin's literally just a buff that says 5. It says, like, it's otherwise, you know, invisible to the player if they're not really looking at the buff bar or anything. But yeah, that Bunshin change is going to be dope. And then the Ninki gauge stuff with their new traits. Overall, I'm actually really excited for Ninja. I'm glad I have all aiming right side, because if I do want to try Ninja, I'm halfway there. I think this is going to be fun. I'm not as concerned about the speed of it, but it's a maybe. It's a maybe. I'm glad I'll finally be leveling my melees. I might actually swap from Red Mage and Ninja just to level that as soon as this happens.
You to go back to Ninja?
I mean, like, leveling it to see how it feels. Like, right now I'm leveling Red Mage. Like, I'm doing it 70 to 80, but I might just, like, stop that wherever I am and go start up Ninja just to see how I feel about the changes while I'm leveling from 70 to 80. I think it's going to be dope. I'm really excited. I think Ninja's going to dominate, like, the party spot. I think it's going to go back to being the must-have, like, be-all, end-all. Every group better have it. Everyone's top-tier opinion. Because it still has trick attack, and look at all that. Huh.
I'm excited. I'm definitely going to play it. I know after I get done with Ultimate, when I clear Ultimate, I'm just going to buy Ninja Daggers. Like, even if I'm not playing it in raids right now, but I want to go back to maining Ninja. I miss it a lot.
God bless you. I don't miss it at all. Gordy,
it's always been my favorite job.
Gordy's ruined Ninja for me. I never wanted to play Ninja again after Gordy's. And now it's all coming back full fucking circle. Thank you, Alexander. And then we get to Samurai. Sorry? So, I had some people pull some numbers from more knowledgeable people than myself, and they said it was like a 2.4-ish% DPS increase, even with the potency hits on some things. I go back to the drawing board with this one, Square Enix, because playability might go up. You are not helping this job's reputation, though. Am I the only one who thinks that after just reading Ninja, this was probably this is like,
it kind of seems overshadowed.
Ninja's like showing up to your birthday party. They've got your favorite cake. All your best friends are there. But then for some reason, the mascot from the place you're having your birthday party at kicks you in the balls. No reason at all.
That's like the best gift I could ask for.
Well, I was going to continue our pre-show conversation. I'm going to avoid it for now and not dig much deeper into that statement. So, do we have any thoughts on this? Anything that we really want to say?
Man, I wish I knew anything about Samurai to actually give any insight on it, but I just don't touch the class at all.
I just...
This is why I haven't touched the class.
I think they're taking it in a cool direction, but it's still... like the meditation changes are nice because though I like those. That's my insight. That's all I got.
It just feels like one of those jobs that's never been in its proper place. Besides,
it hasn't had a prime yet.
No,
I think it did. I think 4.0 launch, it was fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In the beginning,
everything was fine,
and then they buffed everything.
Was fine. They were in a good place. It was like miles ahead in terms of DPS because it had nothing else, and that's what people expected. And then they touched it.
Like, let's not beat around the bush. Samurai's DPS is fine now, and it will be more fine after this. Because this is a buff, despite what some people might read into. This has been numerically calculated to be a buff overall.
But not the buff they were wanting.
I don't think Samurai can ever hit the level where people look at it and don't kind of have that stigma about it, where it's like the meme job. because a good samurai will shit on a fight. That is bottom line. It's true now. It'll be more true after the patch. I just don't think this. I think they failed to make anyone but Black Mage feel like I can be the true DPS identity. I feel like Black Mage is the only time they've ever nailed it. And it took them years to nail it. They gave up on Monk and they kept trying on Black Mage and eventually got it.
And so I agree with you that, and I've been saying this, they just need to like altogether rework it as a job completely.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Just give it. Well, I already said just literally copy Monk, give it Weeb Hood, make it give everyone around him 5% melee deep, and that's it. Just copy Brotherhood and it gives you meditation stacks. Done. Job is valid. Done. But yeah, and I agree with the Twitch chat. I won't be personally satisfied until Samurai annihilates everyone on PDPS on FF.
Because that's how it should be.
Yeah.
I agree. It's 100% how it should. And you know what? Maybe after the patch, this will prove to somehow have been the right, like it'll somehow proven itself to be enough. I'm unconvinced until I see it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm not.
So now that there's that depression, then we get to Bard.
Yeah.
Which
I got something I didn't talk about, which is kind of cool, which was increasing the Apex arrow range is something everybody's been begging for.
To me, that's not even the big deal. Making it so Apex Arrow's tooltip reads some useful bit of information to me was more important. Because right now it says it's 500 and that the potency goes up with more gauge. No, 500 is the maximum you get with full gauge. They're changing it to say that it's 120 and that it goes up to 600 at max gauge, which makes sense because it's 20. It's 1/5 of the soul gauge is what it costs to do the damage, and it multiplies it by 5. It's a perfectly readable tooltip and change.
That's good.
That's it. And they're also giving it its some Sidewinder damage and some it's giving it its party buffs back. So to some degree, but they're different. I don't know why they decided to do that, but it's like 1% damage for Ballad, 3% direct hit for Payon, and then 2% crit in Minuet.
Do you think that warrants them nerfing their dots?
The only reason I say yes is because somebody said that it still works out to about a 2.5% increase.
Okay.
I'm taking somebody else's math. I didn't do it myself. I'm just saying. I thought that was kind of weird, but dot damage I kind of don't appreciate much personally. As it's a hard type of damage to appreciate. So I feel like seeing the bigger Apex arrows and seeing the better Sidewinders and also giving the part, I feel like those are more tangible in a sense. So I kind of don't mind. But I will say that Bard overall, I'm feeling Bard more than the other two range DPS after I read the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because Machinist, and all three of them had their party buff, the 10% reduction. All of them got reduced to 2 minutes, which is great. That's OP. As if we needed it after the tank changes, right? And Reprisal, like as if we needed even more defensive buffs to be more available. But they are. Machinist got 20 potency to heated split shot, 30 to slug shot, 40 to clean shot. I'm not considering the low level ones because they don't matter at level 80. And Flamethrower is now the global cooldown is triggered by skill speed. It's the same change they made to what was the other skill they changed? Tsubamageshi. The same change as Tsubamageshi. That's nice, but I still think they could go more with Machinists. Machinist kind of has the same problem Samurai has. It really needs to be like more head and shoulders above the utility wielding ranged physical. I feel I want a fucking 850 potency drill and an 850 potency air anchor. I want to see that 80k direct crit reassemble. That's what I want to see. Personally. So this wasn't enough for me. Then Dancer.
Mike, how you feeling, buddy? What's going on?
So good.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay. All right.
I don't know quite how I feel. Because these are the potencies of these skills from the Mediator. I remember very clearly everything being 50 potency higher at the Mediator. But they specifically chose 2 actions you'll use very often and 2 actions you use occasionally. Unless there's a typo here, and it's supposed to be something different. But Cascade and Fountain are your basic 1-2 combo you get at the low levels, and Rising Windmill and Blood Shower are your flourished AoEs. So that's weird.
A little bit, yeah.
It makes me feel like it's a typo, and it's supposed to be the same. I mean, it reads the right potencies, if I'm not mistaken, right here. But yeah, that's just what it is. I don't know what that actually equates out to. Somebody said it equates out to be about the same amount of a buff as Bard is getting, in 8-man parties in particular. But other than that, I don't know. Just favor Bard in all 3 of these range physical changes. I feel like people will look at Bard and want it immediately more without even like really caring about the math behind it. They'll just look at Bard and be like, that one.
It helps my DPS more pick it.
Well, I mean, it's the person's like, am I getting dance partner? No? All right, invite the Bard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all those other people are going to be like, yeah, it's like, I got technical finish. He's like, is it up 100% of the time? No. All right, I'm going to get the Bard then. Okay. Looking good. I don't even care how it works out numerically speaking. That's all they care. That's all anyone cares about, all right? Black Mage. They're like, this job's perfect. Just, make it display.
Give it some little usability here.
Usability. That's gonna be my new favorite. I think Shadowbringers, that might be my new favorite term, is usability. Because they've used it before, no pun intended. But I feel like it's gonna very quick. Anytime they say that for a job change, I'm gonna be like, Blood of the Dragon's going to 20 seconds now, huh? That's going to be from now on, that's how I'm going to think about it.
Blood of the Dragon's just a passive at this point.
Yeah. Yep. Blood of the Dragon is a permanent passive now that you get at level 60. There you go. All these other things, don't worry about it.
Summoner. So who's ready to relearn Summoner?
Oh my god, dude.
I don't know about relearn.
I don't know.
Most of these things are like potency changes to like the eggies, and then there's a few changes here. Like you'll be pressing less buttons per minute. I don't think you need to relearn it though. You just need to stop yourself from trying to activate Eggy Assaults on the OG CD.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I played Summoner up in this raid tier. I played a little bit of it, and I didn't mind it. Like a lot of people's complaints are super valid. Like I feel like some of the, like going into trance phases, right, where you have to like triple weave before Phoenix and stuff like that's really weird. And then the dot delay between going into your what is it, like your second Dreadworm or something like that. And it looks like they've addressed that by lowering Dreadworm trance to 55 seconds just for that specific reason alone. But otherwise, I kind of liked Summoner.
So this conversation reminds me, I was doing Savage with Xeno 2 weeks ago, and Ember was playing Ninja, and she said, I really like Ninja. I wish Stormblood Ninja had been like this. And I just remember Arthur's going, are you kidding me? Like super angry. I feel like somebody, if we had him here right now, he might literally have the same reaction. He's it was great.
I could just imagine it in his fucking voice too. It's
it's perfect. He didn't say fuck surprising. I was surprised. He left out the hard F. He just said, are you kidding me? Just like gave it straight like that. I'm glad Tri Disaster is going to feel pretty cool to activate. Cooler than it does now, at the very least. Getting that nice 300 potency insta hit. I'm good. I'm okay to see Ruination go away. Yeah, and then Dreadworm Trance changes, even making it so that like Bahamut. So this is a question I have for you. I don't know if you have any insight into this. So Bahamut now almost like stores a Wormwave for his summoning animation, so he doesn't miss like the first one. Is there a reason why they didn't do that to Phoenix? Is that not a problem on Phoenix, or is it just, I don't know why it's only him as someone who doesn't play the job?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I honestly, I wish I could tell you, but I just know that was why you would hold your Akmorn for like an extra GCD, is so that Wormwave would come out. Otherwise, you'd ghost it. And I don't think that that's an issue with Firebird. I don't think that's an issue with Phoenix.
So from what I'm reading is it can happen with Phoenix, but some people are saying that is summon animations a little faster, so it's like less likely to happen, but it is still a problem that absolutely crops up on fight. So it is effectively an issue on Phoenix, but apparently not enough of an issue to make it into this patch. So maybe a future one. I mean, everything else here seems to be pretty in tune with things I've seen summoners asking for. I've positive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm gonna definitely try it out because I do really, really like Summoner right now, and I don't know, maybe I'll like it afterwards too. I like active classes, and it's gonna feel a lot less active now, that's for sure. So we'll see.
Yeah. I do have a question for you. I want to get your insight on the interpretation people are kind of confused about. So there's a little bit further down, skipping past some of the jobs. There's a specific note that the type of damage that these attacks deal now, the pet, is now magic damage as opposed to all attacks from Arcanists and Summoner pets are now categorized as magic attacks. Now, do you think that's just them changing it for the sake of resistances, like when something says it's physical versus magical, or do you think that means they're going to be calculated not as pet potencies but as magic potencies? Because if they're calculated as magic potencies and have more, and the summoner's actual stats have more weight on them, then that's bigger than it seems. But people don't seem to really have a set read on if that's the thing. How do you feel?
A little bit of a thought. I got a little bit of a brain having to happen right now. Well, I mean, like that would be more interesting if we still had buffs that were specific magic damage buffs, but now all buffs all the party buffs are like specifically just damage buffs, right? So, I mean, it absolutely might. I know is that an issue with like, there have been some bosses in the past where they'll have debuffs that go out that make it so that you have to hit them with physical. Was that an issue with pets before?
Before Heavensward, Ifrit was physical, but after that, they made them all count as, like, if something had a resistance, they counted as magic. So it's weird for them to put that wording in there. It's why people are suspecting it might mean they're now calculated as magic potencies instead of pet potencies.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that'd be cool. It would be a little easier to like calculate shit, I guess.
I think if I recall correctly, I think they said it would just be, I mean, these potency buffs are actually bigger because pet potencies aren't weighted as heavily as magic potencies. Yeah,
I mean, it would be more convenient, that's for sure. Like just not having this extra weird value out there that people have to think about.
Yeah. Well, either way, I think I'm curious to get some summoner thoughts after it's come out. If you end up playing that, you're more than welcome to come back on. Although I'm sure there are other changes here that you'll have some insight into coming into the next patch, because you like to play a bunch of different stuff. That's why we brought you on for the heal. You asked me why am I on for this healer show? I'm like, you healed the last raid tier, so it's that's viable. I feel like that gives you some.
I don't consider myself like an in-depth. I never consider myself like knowledgeable on a job until I've played it in like Ultimate though. Because like I healed a tier, but
I watched those streams. I watched those streams and heard what you had to say about it. It was like, I don't know what any of my buttons just did. People are alive. Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Pretty much. I like Scholar. I play a lot of Scholar now, and I'm actually really into that job. So I would like to heal an Ultimate at some point for sure.
Pretty bad at Scholar.
I love Scholar.
I'm pretty bad at it. I soloed.
Scholar's pretty fun.
I soloed A3 Savage. I didn't remember I had Seraph the whole fight. I literally never activated it once. It would have been so useful. I didn't use it a single time because it never crossed my fucking dumb mind.
Oh my goodness.
Red Mage here. Now I've seen Red Mages say they don't think these buffs are enough. Again, mine's 72. Not even. It's like 71 and like 4/5. So not much insight, but some of this stuff seems pretty solid right off the bat. So Acceleration, they told us during the live letter, would now work for 3 spells instead of 1. They also increased the duration of how long you have to use it, obviously.
So that's just a 100% proc opener then right there.
Yes, and on top of that, it only had its cooldown raised by 20 seconds. So you effectively get triple the effectiveness at less than double the increase in cast time. So that's pretty significant, I feel, for Red Mages. That's huge quality of life and should result in much more consistent play around burst windows in particular, because it's every 60 seconds in particular. But then the rest of this, like range and radius increase on Moulinet, they seem to have just done that across the board for every job. And then they gave 30 potency to Contre, 30 to Jolt, 50 to Enchanted Reprise, I guess, to make it seem like more of an obvious choice at the specific times it was already being used. And Enhanced Jolt, I don't even know what the base potencies are for Thunder, Ver Arrow, and Ver Fire, and Ver Stone. I don't know if you know them. We could probably pull up the job guide or chat could tell us, but it just seems like just at a certain level, you get potency increases to a few of their other spells. So I've seen Red Mage say they don't think this is enough. I don't know if you've heard anything around, if either of you have heard anything around, some Red Mage opinions on these.
I wish I knew a single thing about Red Mage.
You don't care, do you? Because that's what my problem is. That's my problem.
I don't.
I really don't care.
I don't know what it is about Red Mage, but it's that one job I can just never imagine playing. I have no idea. I think it looks interesting though.
So
and on paper, these all sound great.
People are saying it's about a 6% DPS increase according to math, hopping off the balance, which makes sense. 6% sounds great on. I remember the last time I laughed at like a 5-6%.
6% is huge when you compare it to everyone else who's getting 2 and 3% increases, but also with how low Red Mage is already, it's a little. I mean, we'll see, right? I feel like it needs to kind of keep up with Summoner at this point, and that's if it's in line with Summoner, then people will be happy, I think, but I'm not sure.
So I'm going to field this question to both of you since we just finished talking about all three casters. I've been of the opinion that Black Mage has been a problem child. As much as I love the state that it's in, it's fun. The comparison between Black Mage and Ranged Physical and the other two casters essentially turned it into an argument of one job versus 5. Because it was one job that could theoretically surpass all possible contributions of an entire role and the rest of its own role, like cannibalizing the role. So forgetting what the maximum possible, ranges of this, what do you think is an acceptable amount for Black Mage to be ahead of the other two casters? Because I feel like this also applies to Samurai and Machinist, who are supposed to kind of be filling that role within their own roles as well. So what would you think? Right now, I think people say it's like a 2,500-ish difference at similar parse levels. So what would you consider an acceptable difference for it to still be where it is now as powerhouse and valued without being a meme like, Samurai has been from time to time?
Are you talking about making it like a concession to Black Mage, like bringing like as far
bringing everything, bringing other things up within a specific, like, so for example, like let's say an acceptable range for Black Mage was 1,000 DPS average at most percentiles above the other two casters. So its lack of utility is made up. Let's say that, and I'm including our DPS, by the way, not just P DPS. I mean the overall contribution of the job. Where do you think is like an acceptable level for it? I think 1K. 1K was my kind of acceptable range personally.
Yeah, I would say like 1 to like 1.2 ish, something like that.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go. 1.2 seems to be like a pretty right now, pretty solid number in terms of it being ahead for the most part, average.
Do you think the other two Black Mage equivalents are ever going to be there? I wonder if Machinist, I wonder how close Machinist is getting to that with its buffs, because it was already a few hundred points above Bard, but I don't know how that's going to change going into the next patch. And it did receive more of a numerical buff than the other two range physical. So I'm curious if it's getting close to how close it's going to get to that threshold of being ahead of the other two. I listen, I just want a reason to shoot gun. All right. I love Machinist, but everyone wants me to play Bard, and I don't want to do it. I just need an excuse. White Mage Asylum got buffed to 8 yalms. I have a question. So Temperance effect is now applied immediately upon execution. Is there a reason why they're not just designing abilities like that by default now when they did this ages ago?
I have no idea.
That should have needed to be a change. That should have been that
exactly.
way.
Yeah.
Because that's when did they make that change to like collective unconscious and passage of arms? They made that change. They made it during Stormblood, but I feel like that should have just been a thing the whole time. I'm sure chat here has some input onto when that was sacred. They made all those instant effect ages ago. Maybe it's because this one's not like visible, the AoE effects. Like all of those are like visible AoE effects, I suppose, like a circle or wings or something like that.
Well, this is like the only one that that is a buff to a specific player and everyone else, I guess. It's like the only skill we have like that in the game, is it not?
Now you're making me think. So many abilities.
I mean, I might be wrong. There might be like a couple others or something.
Yeah, I think it might be right. Yeah, because it's not like Brotherhood. Like, as long as you step near the white mage, it's not like Brotherhood where if you're not in the initial range. Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe that's why.
So yeah, they may have just overlooked something when they were creating it like that.
Bard songs. Yeah, the Stormblood Bard songs. Although I don't think that was as much. They didn't have experience with it because I don't think it was ever an issue. Bards just had their songs up 100%. They didn't need, there was no like
if it's a 100% uptime,
yeah, there was no need for like a snap activation. Like, so it probably was a different type of skill. They never prioritized that programming. Okay, I like it. I'm glad we got some insight in this. Scholar, I don't know. I mean, so the Summon Seraph thing's obvious. They're just making it so the 2-second activation isn't lost. Like, you don't lose the overall duration. I guess they balance Summon Seraph around this and not like Living Shadow and the bot from Machinist, which have those massive activation times, and it just cuts into the timer in the first place. Or they already factored it in, and that's how they were meant to be, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I guess like with Seraph, you're using it specifically to like you're using it for mechanics. With the other abilities, you're just using them because it's you hit it and forget it DPS, right?
Right. And quit it.
Yeah. So with Seraph, it's like you have to use it to prepare for things. It's a prep skill. And sometimes you get a little shafted trying to pull it out, and then it ghosting abilities, because if you use too much at once, it'll definitely do that.
I never want to hear the sentence shafted when you're pulling out ever. I never want to hear that sentence ever again in my life.
Live a little, bro. Come on.
I have a retort. I'm gonna leave it out. I'm gonna say it later.
Yeah, go ahead and happy, be ballsy.
Yeah, good. No, I was gonna say, well, if you were really living life, then you wouldn't have been pulling out anyway. But that's living life on the edge. That's another joke. Anyway, moving on. All right, hold on.
There's so many inside jokes that people are not going to get.
No, don't use the term inside joke, because that is in itself a bad time. This is a bad time to use that joke, Sly. That's a bad time to use that term. Anyway, so when the pets are set to steady, they will no longer use Embrace or Seraphic Veil. I don't... What's the default? Because I don't think I've changed that in like ages.
I guess sick? I don't know.
What's the default setting? I think
it is sick.
I think I just summon them and I just...
Well, there's no reason to have them on steady now, right?
I don't know. I looked at that and I was like, now, because there's things you just take for granted, and then when you need to know and pay attention, you just haven't. And this is 100% one of those things that has never once crossed my mind. And then Consolation's 30 seconds now. Okay, I guess.
I mean, that's just to make it so that you don't get 3 of them out during your Seraph window. Because if it was still 22 seconds, you would get that one right at the end. Not that it would go out, because anytime you try to use Consolation within the last 2 seconds, he just leaves anyway.
Yeah. I guess they...
But no, I get that. I get that.
Okay, thank you for explaining it to me, because I was like, okay. Yeah, because I was like, you're still only going to get 2. Because I never trusted that you could get 3. I never even occurred to me that it would be because to make sure you couldn't get the 3rd. Because I was just like, you will never get 3 anyway. Like, because of what you just described. So I was like, I didn't even think of it as the reason because of that. So thank you, Tate, for the healer insight. I'm glad I brought you on the healer show for the healer insight.
Yeah, of course, man. You know me, epic healer.
There you go. Ultimate healer. One day. And then Astro. I don't want to read Collective Unconscious. It gives me a headache.
Oh my god. I don't even I feel like it's not right. It doesn't look correct to me.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Are you saying mistranslation, or what are you saying?
No, so I 100% understand
the way it looks is like, oh, you're in regen stance. Everyone can you can pop it and everyone will get your regen and look at the shield. But if you're in shield stance, you stand there and you just be an idiot. and this skill sucks for you if you're in shield stance.
So
that's what it reads like.
What I read it as is it's just better in Nocturnal, because the diurnal effect is reduces damage taken by 10% and then applies Wheel of Fortune to self and party members. Wheel of Fortune being the regen in this case. So if they step in the shield, they get the damage reduction for the
wait. So does that mean it's like a 20% reduction if you're in shield? Is that what we're
No. So here's how I interpreted it. So diurnal. So right now, so when you activate the AoE, remember we were talking about how Temperance has the AoE activation thing, and like it's instant. When you're in diurnal, you get that instant activation of the damage reduction, but it doesn't linger. You get the regen effect lingering because it's the Wheel of Fortune effect. When you're under Nocturnal, you hit the regen and they get that for 5 seconds, but the damage reduction will persist.
So you're choosing duration. Longer damage reduction over a regen.
Essentially, yeah. So they both accomplish the same thing, but the lasting effect of standing in it would be for that. But I agree with you. I actually read that like 3 times this morning and didn't realize it till just now.
I mean, it's also 60 seconds now. That's a 1 minute mitigation too. Or a 1 minute regen. Like it's
pretty good.
That's a pretty decent sized regen too. Like that's not a bad regen at all.
Yeah, if you were in Nocturnal for 1/3 of the fight, you'd have 10% mitigation. If you were to activate it every minute. It's like protect, like 1/3 of it, effectively.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible.
No, I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty useful.
Yeah, we'll see. It still seems like it's more useful in diurnal for me though.
I don't know how I feel collectively, no pun intended. It's just a term I use a lot. I promise. I don't know how I feel about Nocturnal still after this. Like they got a few DPS buffs here. We saw that one coming. Aspected Helios had its MP reduced in both forms. Minor Arcana changes. It's like Tenchi Jin where there's no extra activation.
I love it. So good.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, Essential Dignity got buffed. And then Aspected benefits 100 less MP in Nocturnal. Other than that, I mean, the majority of it really does come down to Collective Unconscious. So I still don't know if that alleviates the grievances Nocturnal people talked about. They said like Nocturnal just isn't great to use, and unfortunately, if you're running, White Mage, Astro, you have no choice. So almost like for some people, it like eliminates that possibility. I don't know if this alleviates that with a little bit of MP reduction. And then some of these other, like a little bit more DPS in the collective change. Maybe it does. Maybe having 1/3 of the fight taking less damage is considered pretty good by some people, I might think.
I mean, I feel like we already don't take enough damage to warrant that anyway.
Yes. That is a good point.
Like, we don't need the mitigation.
You raise a very good point, sir. That often escapes my mind because I just like to think we're always going to die.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't. It does mean also everything lines up at a 60-second cooldown. So you basically have all of your like other buffs like all fitting every 60 seconds. So there's like this flow to it. Maybe at least I think it'll feel better to play a little bit Nocturnal. But I still don't know if it really alleviates the issues. I've seen a lot of Astros talking about MP. I think they should just make it so you get 100 MP back every time you play a card. Like people have been talking about.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, people have been talking about like not having like light speed is like when you're casting spells, you're saving MP as opposed to generating it with like you do with the other two casters or the other two healers, and then you have Lucid, and that's it. Which is
it doesn't feel great. I've been leveling Astro lately. I haven't played it at 80 yet, but I've been leveling it, and oh my god, I do not like mana on that class.
After playing Scholar, it's certainly different.
Yeah.
Scholar, I'm like, here's an XCOG, and I'll see you later, buddy.
Let me just energy drain a little bit. Weird, I'm at 10k mana 6 minutes into the fight.
Yeah, man, it's kind of it's kind of weird. I have a feeling we're not done with Astro changes based on people's reaction to this stuff.
I don't think we ever will be.
Listen, I remember 3.4 Astro with 20% balance. I remember those days very well. There was a point where people said, "This is great, perfect. Don't touch it from now on." And they're like, "No, this is really bad for everyone else that's not Astro." We're talking about they get cards all the time. It's perfect. Also, rescue is 2 minutes again, or 2 minutes now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess.
I didn't want. Me personally, I didn't want that.
I guess they're just trying to lock everything into a 1 to 2 minute window, right? Like they don't want anything being like a weird.
Seems
time.
weird.
Yeah,
really weird.
Except for apparently, the activation time on Summoner is 55 seconds. It'll take 5 seconds before it matters anyway. Apparently. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. It's good. A lot of people try to base their rotations around 1 2 minute, set windows of everything. But I mean, we still have a few stuck on 90-second recast. I think like Brotherhood, for example, still chills on that 90 seconds. So there's a few of them out there. Just definitely not as many, and it feels like they're dwindling by the patch. I just don't like the rescue change because it brings people's attention to the rescue change, and then I have to go play the game. And I have a history of that action and me not having... I went to the JP data center and they killed me with it. And then blamed me. A lot of people didn't see the chat, but Haru literally was like, happy. I got fucking rescued through the middle of the room in Omega, when he's got the level checker. And I'm like, I can't win. I just can't win. That's all there is to it. And then also outbursts. But didn't even need to put that. They really need to put that all the way down here on its own. Outbursts, to make up for ruination because it's not there.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Oh man. And then they changed like a bunch of resource cost icons. They took away all the like random numbers on skills that were like saying, oh, this has like a 1 cost of a lily and whatnot. And they've added a bunch of sounds like blood lilies and balance gauge and the battery gauge. They just added a little bit more visibility and whatnot.
Fourfold.
So overall, I think there's still a couple jobs you'll see some more changes on. But luckily today, during one of the interviews that was revealed with the OCP, they said they are, trying to buckle down on doing more mid-expansion bounce changes instead of like saying, I'll just wait for the expansion kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it might mean that some of these things don't take as long to alleviate as others might, expect them to. But I also have played this game for 6 years and I'm used to waiting. So I wouldn't be too surprised. And that was probably the one big change. So remember when I said if we had to put a hard cap of 2 hours on the show? That took an hour.
Already an hour. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I mean, I don't even remember what the rest of the patch notes say anymore. Because there's things, you gotta remember, there's no ultimate. There's, oh wait, no, you know what I just realized? We didn't talk about one job.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
I just realized we're not.
I think we covered everything, honestly.
Yeah,
all the jobs in the game.
Yeah, every job in the game we've certainly covered. That's right. No, there was one more job we didn't talk about.
I'm actually looking at these and I'm kind of excited about them because you know what? Introduce the section. Just you introduce this section we're about to get into.
Do we have to?
There was one more job we didn't talk about, and it was Blue.
Is it a job?
It's a limited job.
Is it a job though?
It's a limited job. It's Blue Mage has a wealth of job changes here. That you know what my favorite thing about it
it's
is?
All potencies. You could just say it's all potencies.
But no, there's more to it though. Actually, there is something more to it that took me. I had to go through it a second time to catch it. My favorite thing about the Blue Mage changes though is they have all the job changes, a few sections in between, and then Blue Mage stuck at the bottom of the like battle section. There's like, yeah, we'll get to you, but like them first. Come on. So yeah, Blue Mage. So as Tate so lovingly stated, pretty much every one of the existing 49 skills for Blue Mage had its potency raised by a significant amount.
Good.
However,
good.
Tate, how knowledgeable are you of Blue Mage? How much
just in general? Because not very.
So there's 2 changes in here that if you're not familiar to Blue Mage, you may miss and realize. This
Are you talking about the touch of death thing?
No, that is there
brushed
though.
With death.
Yeah, brush with. That is interesting though. I'm curious. Actually, I would like to read that again. Player will now be inflicted with Brush of Death status after use.
So I think this is to combat people exploding and then being rezzed to areas they're not supposed to be.
My question is, do you die still? Or do you go to 1?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I think somebody said the JP note said something, used the word incapacitated, like through the translation,
okay.
So it was a little bit clearer.
I would assume you still die, because those are huge.
Yeah, so from what I understand, people said that the JP patch notes or one of the other language patch notes translated it to that. But somebody brought up that they made changes to an S rank, because apparently the way you spawn one of the Shadowbringers S ranks is to kill yourself with self-destruct, specifically with self-destruct.
Oh, really?
So they had to change one of the spawn conditions to match that more. Because I wondered, I was like, why are they changing the spawn condition for an S rank? And somebody explained to me you have to use self-destruct for one of the, I forget which one. But
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, I wish
either.
Yeah, well, hunts are weird, man. I understand. Dude. You know how many times I've jumped off a cliff or walked around with a minion out, or ate bread to spawn a. Yeah, Brontes, you have to eat food in his spawn areas to get him to appear. The Amarang S rank apparently requires self-destruct. So yeah, there's that.
I had no idea. That's awesome.
Eat bread. Yeah, there's some weird ones, man.
Yeah, that S rank likes them thick, man.
Yeah, we used to think it was specifically finger sandwiches, but I think it's been proven it's any food. But that's not the big thing. So that is one thing, but that wasn't the big thing. Off guard and peculiar light are the points that make the rest of that a little less important. So currently, off guard is a debuff you put on the target that increases the damage you deal to that target by 50%.
Mm-hmm.
It's now 5%.
Oh!
And also, it's not the damage you deal, it's all damage that enemy takes. So it's all damage 5% instead of personal damage 50% like it used to be. Now, I will say that in an 8 Blue Mage party, that's going to be up all the time. So maybe not that big of a concern. It's also only a 25-second recast. But not only that, but it shares a recast with Peculiar Light now. Which means you can't do a double up of the both of them. Because Peculiar Light used to buff you by another 30%. And now that's only 5% and lasts 15 seconds. So Peculiar Light... Yeah. So in other words, they took away a lot of your super buffing and gave everyone outright potency in the first place. To make
I'm
up
suddenly
for
less excited about that.
So, like, for example, going from...
Because I was sitting here thinking, like, wow, this is amazing. Blue Mage is actually going to do, like, you know, level relevant content and do some decent damage compared to the other jobs when they were doing it. No, I'd take it back.
Yeah, so yeah, basically off guard got turned into trick attack. It's 5% for 15 seconds. So they have a trick attack every 25 seconds now, which is pretty. It's only got a 10%. It's only got a 10.
I mean, these are still buffs. Like, they're still going to do more damage for most of their abilities.
Because for example, water cannon right off the bat, it's 200 potency flat. It also means that without needing to upkeep those things, you're doing more flat damage anyway. So if another Blue Mage is casting off guard, you don't even have to press the button. So there's that.
Yeah, it still might be all right. Like, it still might.
And also all the AoEs.
We'll see.
All the AoEs now get reduced after the first target. That's another thing that changed.
Yeah.
Because that was not like that before either. So they're not, it wasn't just outright buffs. But I will say this, we don't know how these interact with the new abilities they're getting from 50
That's
to 60.
true, yeah. They might get some really cool stuff.
One thing they said in particular was that they wanted it, this was in another interview that came out today, was that they wanted it so you could track down and build skills that were more specific to a role. Right now, it's like tank is Mighty Guard and the Look, and that's it. That's the only abilities that really matter for tanking. Healing is White Wind and maybe Transfusion. That's it. You're a healer. You're a healer, Harry. And then DPS is everything else, because that's like, so maybe they'll get more things that tie into actually focusing on damage output. And so these then become a little bit more important. But Blue Mage.
You know, I'll enjoy it for a week and then it'll be complete, you know.
Did
That's
you
what I did
Dude, you
before.
got to do that hardcore.
Because I liked it. You know, I
Sword in EX bond.
enjoyed. I enjoyed the leveling up, and I enjoyed my first time going through the mass carnival and stuff like that. And the farming was a little tedious, but I didn't dislike it. It reminded me of old MMOs, you know, classic MMOs. But as soon as I finished it, it was like, why did I do that? It was like, that was cool, I guess. And now I have nothing to do with this thing, and it's just in the game now.
So I'm gonna put this out there. After 109 Shivas, I don't know. I completely agree.
I did about the same amount of Garudas.
Oh, I got my Garudan 1. Garudan 1, Titan in 4, Leviathan in 11, Ramu in 80 something, and Shiva in 109. And then Ifrit, I did a bunch of normals when it was bugged, so I don't even count those. I did 10 Ifrit hard modes at one point with 8 blue mages and got it.
Yeah, after that Garuda one, I stopped getting skills. I don't have all the blue mage skills because I just got burned out from that alone.
Well, luckily for you,
they're saying, yeah.
They have you in mind here. Sly, what were you about to say?
I said y'all are good because after hearing your story while I was doing my Garudas, I did 8 Garudas and just said, fuck this shit. I'm out. So
I don't know if you're stronger or weaker than us at this point, honestly.
Stronger,
Both?
yes. Actually, yeah. I was gonna
smarter. I'll say, well, you're smarter than us, that's for sure.
Yes. So a few other changes here. The success rate of learning actions overall has been increased. Even if you're doing the get carried method, it's better.
Good. Bless.
And they didn't say specifically for level 50 or lower skills, but we have to wait for the patch notes for 5.15 to see if there's a difference between learning 51 to 60 skills and learning 1 to 50 in regards to success chance. More importantly, something that needed to happen a long time ago, and they waited till now to do it, the success rate of learning actions from enemies will be increased further when entering duties with undersized party disabled, meaning doing it at level relevance. Now, mind you, that isn't all blue mages. You could still go be a 1 blue mage that goes into like a hard mode or an extreme and be the guy who learns the skill. But it also means that if you can do it with 8 blue mages, everyone will learn the skill. I have a feeling that is going to make it popular for people to take turns carrying 1 like blue mage through. Because in the interview, Yoshi P said it's near 100% if you're doing it undersized. It's like very close to being a guarantee.
That's awesome.
So
hell yeah.
Again, curious if there's going to be any further adjustments to trying to encourage to go all blue mage as opposed to just doing no undersize, because you can still burn through. Yeah, like a 4 and 4 would still work out pretty reliably. And yeah, here goes. Losing blue mage spells that incapacitate self will now apply brush up. See, here's the thing. It says now in, it doesn't say you die. It doesn't say you still die, but it just says that those are the ones that were changed. So
I think it's just so that you can't res and immediately do it again, like in dungeons, right? You can't just blow yourself up over and over for mobs with like a healer in the party, which sucks because I like that. I thought that was fun.
It also doesn't say you don't die. We'll see.
True enough.
New score bonuses have been added to the Mass Carnival. Okay, I actually really like the Mass Carnival. It's too bad.
I do too. I think it's interesting content.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
It was short-lived. That's all.
Yeah.
I think they should add cool rewards to it. Maybe like a mount or something.
It does say that incapacitates self. Yeah, it probably still kills you. Regardless, moving on. It has my favorite achievements in the game. The only achievements that I felt have actively parsed your skills to see if you met a condition, which I want in all content, dungeons, raids, like challenges that like are super unorthodox. It's one of my favorite types of achievements in World of Warcraft. Is like beat this boss with only using this one thing one time or shit like that. That's dope. I need that in everything. And Mass
I want those in like raids.
Yeah. Like have you ever seen the FF Logs challenges for the Yeah.
They're really cool.
Yeah, they're also.
And then I love seeing Reddit get up in arms about how they're impossible.
And then somebody does them. Normally, somebody like does them and then uploads that they've done it, and then it becomes an FF Logs challenge. Seems to be what actually happens. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then the listing of enemy resistances has been changed to enemy vulnerabilities. That's but there's weaknesses and vulnerability. Oh well, one's status effects and the other one's elements. Okay, that makes sense. And then you can
yeah.
I was confused too because I was like, aren't those the same thing? It still reads pretty weird that even knowing that there's a difference there. A filter has been added to the Blue Mage spellbook so you can just search for things by aspect and whatnot. That's going to be good for the carnival. Yeah, for the carnival in particular, I'm a big fan of that. Other than that, it's whatever. I don't have a hard time finding stuff. So now that's it for the for the job changes, and that took another 10 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then other than that, it's almost hard to like break down some of the other things, because like I will say one thing I thought was really hilarious was they gave Echo to Orbone Monastery. I was like, man.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Echo, Orbone Monastery is going to have a 10% Echo. They got tired of people wiping at Cid and saying, fuck that, I'm out.
I could see that.
We have never seen that happen in a 24-man before. They just gave him Echo. So Slyh, okay. I feel like that affects Slyh on a spiritual level. Seeing him over there, just like
no, you're just reminding me to get my people debuff ready for the near raid.
All I'm saying is, anytime I ever queue up for Alliance Roulette, I get naked first.
Yeah, you're not the only one, I'm sure. Do you mean in real life or?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh? What?
Okay. Anyway, gonna move on now. A couple of before I start just diving into random other stuff from the patch notes I think is interesting. Is there anything other than the job changes, that like even just little things that I should get now, because we have about a 45-minute approximate remaining time here, so I want to make sure I don't miss things that you guys are interested in.
No, I don't even like this game.
There's a lot of truth in that. Anyway,
something I thought was interesting is about changing the item level requirements for dungeons.
Yes, that is something a big one.
Extremely necessary.
Yeah, it's still just the Poetics gear from the previous expansion, not even upgraded.
That's
but
fine.
It's better than nothing.
That's fine, because that's more than what certain people were using sometimes.
Do you think it's going to lead to an issue of people who are, I guess, kind of more aware of 14 and like the intricacies of it? Feel like you just said lowering your item level to get the easier 24-man. So you think that leads to the people who are more knowledgeable about these kind of things lowering their item level to get out of those dungeons altogether? Since now they can actively avoid those dungeons by lowering their item level, something they couldn't do before.
Well, if you're talking about leveling roulette with the ones that are listed right now, I don't think that's an issue, because generally when you're running leveling roulette, you want the highest level thing you can get, because it'll give you the most experience.
Well, some people like the 8-minute big bonus Sastasha as opposed to the 12-minute better normal EXP. Yeah.
I guess I'm not the right person to ask, because I always just if I know I'm about to level up and unlock a new dungeon, I'll save leveling roulette for the last one. That way I level up and potentially get, Holminster Switch or something.
I had a 9-minute Sastasha today. It was pretty nice. I gotta admit, I'm a pretty big fan of the 9-minute Sastasha. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I guess it depends on the kind of person. I'm sure it'll happen, but I'm just concerned about people doing that and then not filling these dungeons in leveling roulette, which then becomes an issue for people coming up, trying to get through the story, yada yada.
I don't think that'll be an issue personally.
And Slyh stays the fuck out of that, so he ain't got to worry about nothing.
Just don't get Orenvale.
Dude, aren't you?
I got Orenvale yesterday, and it was actually the fastest leveling roulette I've ever done.
It's so good if you go with. Did you do it with 3 people you knew, or did you?
No, I pugged it.
God bless your soul.
And I got really lucky. Everybody was super good.
You did. Yeah, no. If you have a decent group, Orenvale takes like 7 minutes. It's like really the longest aspect of it is the last boss, pretty much.
The longest aspect of that is people. You get the wrong people.
Why are you running with long people for?
What?
Wrong people.
Don't worry about it, man.
Long people.
Don't worry about it.
You're 6'4". You're long. I don't like this.
Yeah, but I've got some girth to me.
All right. I knew I sent it down that.
Oh boy. All right. So is there anything else?
Man.
Is there anything else we want to cover before we get to
Eureka buffs or nerfs, depending on.
Wait, did that happen?
Yeah, I think they're just giving them Echo.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it.
Echo, easier to spawn NMs, and you don't need story completion to ride mounts.
The Echo will not take effect when undertaking the Baldesion Arsenal.
No, the BA is going to stay. I doubt they ever touch Baldesion Arsenal.
I'm cool
I think they eventually touch Baldesion Arsenal near like the end when it doesn't matter. Near the end of the
It'll always
expansion.
people want the Ozma, and it always matters.
I'm waiting for them to add one of those Moogle tomestones, or you can just buy Ozma
Fuck
for 100
you.
stones. I have it, dude. I don't want that to happen. I have Ozma. I worked my ass off for that. I love Baldesion Arsenal, man. I can't wait to see what they do with it in the future.
Well, they're not going to do anything with Arsenal, but yeah, another like.
I mean,
another
like that kind of content, though.
post,
content. Yeah.
I think the big thing is not needing story progression for mounts.
Mm-hmm.
Echo is great, but have you ever tried to go 20 levels without a mount in Eureka? Because it's
I did 4 times.
Yeah, me too.
We all have.
Yeah,
It's not great.
Epic Farm remembers.
yeah, that's a big one. I still think there's room for them to do more. They did say they'll keep nerfing Eureka as the expansions go. I think the next thing to hit might be acquisition of skills in Pyros, because it's kind of sucks to do if you're like one of the only people in there to actually farm out the skills. And there's
Now it is,
Yeah, now
but when
it's-
it was active, it was great. The market for it was insane.
I made 40 million off that one.
Yeah, God, everybody made 40 million off that shit. It was
great.
crazy.
It was great. And I was
Running
one of the-
Baldesion Arsenal when it came out was
Oh my
like free
God.
bank, dude.
That's still one of my. If you're someone with just spare gil, I do recommend grabbing Kieran's Osode and or a Vermilion Cloak before even going into Onimos, because it's a big gil investment for jack shit. But gil's worthless. Just fucking spend it. All right. Stop acting like gil matters and have 205 mil like me and spend that shit. I'm sorry. It's just
I do. I've got about 300k to my name right now. It's all good.
you need to do some maps, buddy. I made fucking like 1.9 mil off some Fireglass leather the other day. Got to do some maps.
Fucking
I've got so
doors
many
hate
maps.
me.
I'm waiting for the new stuff to come out before I
But
blow all
the
of them.
current stuff is still so good.
It's
it'll
still good.
there.
Yeah,
It's
but
still
maybe
good.
I hope they don't fuck with the pricing on that. Like, because I think Fireglass and Enchanted Elm Lumber have outlived like being expensive better than any two items have ever outlived.
It really has.
And so I'm concerned they're gonna make them super common, and then they just add new high value stuff in there and
Mhm.
just fuck off, you know. But just still, you know, I'm hopeful.
I'm not.
I got that. Yeah, no, I got that. Yeah, another thing that's not even in this patch note is PvP changes, which they said are going to be massive. They just like fuck it. Well, we're not putting them here. We'll put it in the guide.
There's gonna be they're implying it's gonna be huge. So you know.
So yeah,
Let's see.
yeah, but I just like that. Just it'll be in the job guide on Tuesday. Go read that. We don't want to talk about it. That's it.
It's probably like everything. Like they're probably like adding abilities and stuff too. You know, it's just
Yeah, they
probably way
said
too
they
much
said
to
they were
cover.
adding a few abilities. They said they got a lot of feedback saying
Yeah.
that.
I want them to make PvP stuff more interesting because I miss the olden days.
I miss the Seal Rock days. Is what I
Mhm.
miss.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so they're changing a few. They are changing. There are some other PvP things here, like you can now do the daily challenge, like the daily roulette as a party, even if it's only limited to 4 people. They're increasing mount speed in front line, so getting around the map is a little faster. You spend more time fighting, less time traveling, which I can respect. Return's going to be a little bit easier to use. You're not going to be out of the fight as long if you're incapacitated multiple times. And Adrenaline Gauge is going to be a more personal thing. They're even adding warnings on the minimap for like when ice is going to spawn in Shatter or when mobs are going to spawn in the center in Secure. So they're trying.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're trying.
Make it a little more
I gotta give
accessible,
them
yeah.
credit for trying at the very least to make things faster and easier to hop in and out of. It's still Shatter though.
It sure is.
Sly
Shut
likes
your
Shatter.
own mouths.
That's his favorite mode. I'm not even kidding.
Which one's Shatter again?
The ice.
Is that the one where you break the things, like you attack them?
By,
and you
yeah,
break
the
them and
giant
get points?
ice. Yeah, the giant ice.
Oh, I like
tournament.
Shatter.
No, you
I don't mind it.
See, thank
Yeah,
you.
you went real quick from I like it to I don't mind it. So I have a feeling if you think about it more, you're gonna keep going down this rabbit hole.
It's the one I've played the most.
That doesn't mean you like it. That just means you don't know any
I
better.
do. I don't
said
know.
he liked it. He just literally said he liked it.
No, he said
What the
I
fuck,
like
man?
it. I don't mind it. Which means,
I mean, I don't mind most things that I like.
Stop trying to talk him out of it, Happy. Please.
I think he'll get a taste of the Nadam, and he'll never want to go back to Shatter.
The only PvP mode I've ever disliked, I don't know what any of them are called, by the way, is was the one where there's just random capture points that spawn randomly in the map, and you have no control over if you win or lose. That's the one everyone likes the most. Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, because it's the most. It's like the most. It's like the most actual like PvP out of all of them. Like Shatter's a lot. I just don't like playing a mission and then getting absolutely shafted by where the point spawns.
I eventually got tired of fucking Slaughter.
Well, that's why it's gone. They got rid of Slaughter.
Yeah.
They said, well, this sucks. See ya.
Yeah.
They're not
doing that to Shatter either. So
I'm excited to see the new mode, though.
The new mode is Seal Rock, but there is one change about the new mode I'm concerned about, where after you capture a point, you don't have to defend it anymore. Whereas
it'll add to a lot more player versus player combat. You know, people actually seek fights out.
It depends, because the old Seal Rock, you had to sit there and defend it. So you had one of two scenarios: either you were
true enough.
You were either in a low priority spot, but you still needed to have a few bodies there, because if somebody walked up to take it, they could. Or you were in like the middle of the fucking map, and everyone's like, you are getting fucked in the ass right now. Both of the other teams will make sure of that.
I wonder how they'll combat that. Like, I wonder if like player deaths will actually be worth like good points. Because now that you point that out, it definitely, I could see people just like, okay, we got the point. Let's go just hide, until the next point.
I'm wondering how. Yeah, because they, I think, like, I'm wondering how much it'll add to combat high or battle high, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Battle High, you used to get a tactical bonus for killing someone with Battle High. You won't anymore. So it's just, you kill a player, you're getting credit for killing a player. And that's the end of it. But if you stay alive, you get a 50% damage and healing increase. So that's pretty useful.
That's pretty big.
That's pretty big. Oh, so I haven't gotten you guys' thoughts on the new armor sets that are coming out. We've known about these a little bit. We have the Woad Armor Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, which is the Grand Cosmos dungeon gear. We have
I like that a lot.
We have 2B brought Raiden from Metal Gear Revengeance into this, and that was the winner of the DPS contest. It's more like Genji. There's a lot of Genji comparisons here. More
it's Raiden. It's Raiden for me.
Yeah. So how are we feeling about these? Because like, I'm a big fan of the Woad set from Samal, and this dungeon set reminds me of that. And I fucking love shit like the melee DPS winner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fucking edgelord when it comes to that shit. You just make me a robot. Fuck it. I got 20,000 wolf marks saved up, ready to fucking go. Let's do this.
I like them both. I like the Woad set as well, and this one looks like a more like armored version of that. So it's really, really cool. The contest winner is insane. This is some shit I didn't think I'd ever see in this game, I like it.
A year ago, I think.
Yeah, I want to know which class is which really bad, so I can decide whether or not I care about it.
Well, I think the two that they've like specifically highlighted were the winner, which is melee DPS, the one that's standing.
Yeah, I see tank. I think,
and the other, the one on the right, like second from the right, is tank. We're pretty sure
they're cool. I like all of them.
I like
the one in the front the most.
I like the one with the scarf.
That one is cool. It's like it looks like if I don't know, like a reconnaissance android or something. I don't know. I dig it.
Sly, this is something I'd expect you to be into.
You know it. You already know it. I'm clamoring as soon as I get it.
Can we change the AR Zivia belt to something from this set instead? Instead of the sorry Sublagar, sorry Louis Swa, sorry Ethis, but we want to wear this prize now. It's less of a dunce.
As long as I can dye it, I'd be
Diet
good.
Gold. You get Diet Gold. If we can, you're saying this stuff. If we can dye this stuff, yeah. Also, this new coat. I'm assuming this comes from Maps. The materials from this coat.
It's gotta be.
I mean, they're in Ishgard. They are in Ishgard, which maybe the tokens from Restoration, but we already have the other stuff, the work tank top and stuff.
I mean, from the looks of it, they just threw the armor sets in fitting locations, right? The other one the new woad sets in the forest, the crazy high-tech things in Amarat, and now, get cozy in Ishgard. So I don't think that has anything to do with where it's coming from.
Dude, 20,000 wolf marks better be enough for a full fucking set of the fucking...
It's going to be the helmet, bro.
The fucking weeb armor. I want it. That's all I need. And we have this crafting section. I'm so useless here.
My only idea for all of this is that they're overhauling traits or something. Well, I don't know if they are. But the thing is, they actually showed the new traits for gatherers. So if there were new traits for crafters, we'd probably see them. So I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff. For me,
I feel like I've said that a lot.
For me, yeah, well, I mean, because we've got words.
I don't even have an idea. It's so vastly different.
You know what stopped my brain for a second with this? When they said that they got rid of manipulation and then they changed the name of manipulation 2 to manipulation, I'm like, so you didn't get rid of it. So what? Huh? But I get it. I get why it's worded like that. It was just like my brain at like 7 a.m. saw that and went, what? It couldn't process the fact that it was just this is a different. It was the advanced ability just because there's no one. It's just there's only one ability, so they got rid of the 2. I don't know why I couldn't process that in my brain. Yeah, and then stuff like quick gathering where you can basically like...
I like that.
That's dope.
I'm cool with that.
A lot of extra like shard and crystal and cluster yields as well, getting rid of like the unreachable areas, which we knew about some of that stuff. But
I'm really happy about all that, about not having to sit there and whack at a 25% node 4 times to try to unlock it.
It won't get the reduction anymore.
I say it's going to be nice, but I've already unlocked everything, so it doesn't matter anymore. But
I might actually go
there
back
you go,
and
man.
my entire gathering log now.
Go finish that stuff up and get yourself some cool shiny stuff.
Dude, I have the luminary pickaxe from back at A Realm Reborn. That's enough for me. That was like 33,000 gathering hits or something for that. I think it's like 110. Like yeah, it was like 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000.
Oh, this is gonna make those really like a lot easier to get because you don't have to just sit here and mash them over and over now. You just auto gather them.
Yeah. I mean, you'll still need to run between each point, but you're right.
But that's it's a few less clicks.
Yeah, dude.
You can enjoy your Netflix a little bit more.
Yep. Sorry, that stayed for main scenario roulette. I can't believe you were gonna fucking do the main scenario roulette.
I do MSQ every day.
You are just.
It's good experience, and I want the Moogle tomes. I wanted the Mama Shiva earrings. It's like 10 per run, man.
You'll never get me. I did it once on stream, and I got prey, and I literally wanted to die. My soul, because I can't just stop and watch Netflix while I'm live.
I mean, I think it's fun to do with chat because I already zone out of the game and just talk with chat anyway. So I might as well be doing something where I can't screw my party over by failing mechanics.
I just want to die. It just makes me want to die. Can't do it.
No, that's fair, man. It's not for everybody.
You know what I can do, though? I can desynthesize Sly. If there was one part of the patch notes for crafting I understood, it was that part.
Yeah, you already could, so shut up.
The good news is you can now, too.
Yeah, I know.
It's for everybody.
So desynthesis, as they told us, can no longer fail. But regardless of your desynthesis level, because desynthesis level isn't gone.
Yeah.
You get more rare material.
You were happy about that.
Yes, I was. There's no longer a cap on the combined level, meaning you can max desynthesis on everything. So I have a busy next week ahead of me after that patch comes out. And when your desynthesis level
Wait. Repeat that?
The combined level limit of desynthesis has been removed. So you can max all of your crafters.
All the desynth.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm very happy about that.
But to me, that's gonna take no time at all, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. Not for when I have 200 million gil and can throw it at whatever the fuck I want because there's nothing to spend.
I'm cool with that.
Bunch of shit in my retainers to get rid of, and I have nothing but time. So
that's gonna be a fun one. And then finally, so what does desynthesis level do, you might ask? When your desynthesis level is higher than that of the item you are desynthesizing, the number of items yielded increase, and there's a chance to procure rare items. So I'm going to go ahead and break that statement down. It's exactly the fucking same. because there's no fucking rare items anymore in Desynthesis. What's a rare item by their definition, huh?
Maybe they're gonna add them though, right?
What is this bronze Hollborgsyn gonna give me that blows my fucking mind? All right.
Mastercraft demi
doesn't matter. You're putting that on the market board anyway.
Yeah.
Like all the old primal ones were cool and like glass fibers when they weren't that available. They've fucked off on all the rare materials and shit.
But now that it's accessible, they'll probably add it back though, is what I'm thinking.
No, here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like if a normal desynthesis, let's say this bronze Hollborgsyn, let's say that you get a tin ore normally from it. They're just gonna give you the
3
bronze
HQ
ingot.
tin ores.
Or 3 HQ tin ores. I'm gonna be like, listen, I'll get more stuff. I don't care. Whatever. It's fucked. It's not over fucked. It's just adequately fucked. And they're gonna try to get people excited about rare items that don't fucking exist because they're not rare, and you're lying. You're lying.
You're gonna get blown out of the water when they introduce a new Mastercraft demi materia, and you have to have your shit maxed for it or something.
Then I'll be rich, and I can and I don't care about being wrong. I'm gonna be fucking cash money in this baby. And I don't even need it. It's worthless to me. I don't even have a house, and I don't want one. And then they made it so it's faster to level. The cap's going up to 460, which is normal. And the Bacon Bread and Tinker's Columns will increase the rate at which you gain desynthesis skill. It used to increase the rate at which you successfully desynthesize.
That's nice.
Yeah. If you say so, buddy. That's
cool. How fun is that? Everybody's just ready to party and descent a little bit.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh boy.
So you want to know how little I've stayed in tune with gathering stuff, other than that quick gathering thing? I was just scrolling through, and because I barely gathered anything even this expansion. Like I did leaves to level both my gatherers because I didn't give a fuck. I didn't know there were purple carrots. I just learned that scrolling down through the picture.
Fucking
great, man. That's like
fucking terrible.
There's purple carrots, man.
Yeah, and Omega
carrots.
Imagine walking up to a bush and it's got flax, earth crystals, perfect carrots, and animal shit. Because that's what this botany node has.
I mean, do you not keep that stocked in your cabinet anyway? Like that's pretty much what mine looks like.
I don't have a retort. I don't know how to retort purple carrots and animal droppings. I don't know how to do it. They also made a bunch of changes to like level accessibility with crafting and gathering. They lowered a lot of levels by 1, which looks silly, but they're trying to make things accessible just at the earliest reasonable level, because level 7, like you're 75 now to hit level 80 gathering nodes. It's 1 less level for a map. That's 1 less. It's a better EXP yield at the exact midpoint instead of getting more than halfway through. And then there's other stuff here like new gathering nodes and the custom delivery. I don't know how Kaishir is suddenly going to be the fucking hero of the strip club, because that's what he's trying to do right now. I was like, Sly's going to love this. Did you see that, Sly? He's literally using the strip club as his like base of operations. And
somebody got to make a hustle.
Yo, yeah, he says he's trying to open up Yulmore to not just the rich. And I'm like, you picked a damn good business for that, sir.
Pretty much.
I will say he's not dressed for the occasion. So when he gets maxed out, people got to make sure he looks like he's running he's got to look like he's running a strip club.
I'm going to put him in the male bunny outfit, I think is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think that's the right call. Now going down to mounts, obviously we have the Hades EX mount, which looks as the third mount usually does, better than the rest. Where do we think the lion's from? I've seen some interesting thoughts thrown out there about where the lion mount is going to come from. There's a few possibilities. Audio listeners, it didn't break. They're thinking.
Our brains broke, not the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I see it coming out of Yulmore and everything, but like,
what exactly? Because we know it's not going to come from PvP.
Well, I mean, the
They
dragon's
say-
coming out of
listen,
the Crystal Tower.
They
but-
they said that PvP was not going to have an orb as its new mount. That's all they said.
It's either, I'm thinking it's either going to be like MGP, like obviously they need to add more stuff to
I didn't even
MGP for a
think
sync. Or like
I'll give it
I
first
want
shot.
them to add a mount to the Masked Carnival for Blue Mage stuff. I want,
So,
but
funny,
that doesn't seem like a fitting mount
funny you
for me,
mentioned
though.
that
It
because the
doesn't-
Malboro is most likely coming from Blue Mage. The Malboro,
Oh
we're getting,
yeah,
because that plays the
That's
Blue
right.
Mage theme when you were on, like from the
oh
live
yeah, I
letter.
totally forgot about that. I love that mount. I want one so bad.
He carries you like just a little. He's just
That's
limp
so
in his
good.
hand.
And it does bad breath, and it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So there was an interesting theory. So in patch 4.1, they added the Magitech Reaper to Alamigo. That's the only time
Oh
they've
yeah.
ever
That's
put a
right.
mount in a dungeon. Ever. They've never done it before or after.
And this new
There's-
dungeon looks pretty, it looks pretty cool.
Well,
We'll
the
see.
interesting thing is they added it to Alamigo, which was the which was
was originally
the
in-
4.0 dungeon.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't
So
know that
you're
we
thinking
did
maybe
that.
Mount
Gold?
Gold?
Yeah, some people thought Mount
Yeah.
Gold because it is literally the first boss, and it sits in that
Yeah.
awkward last level range where there's not as many people running it as other things. But I mean, there is there is always the possibility of the Amarat being a cool one.
Gemstones.
Gemstones was another one I saw
Maxing,
people.
maybe maxing everything, and then you can buy it in Yulemore.
Yes, that is another possibility because there is a bicolor. There's a lot of possibilities for where this could
There
go.
is.
It's quite exciting.
I've got gemstones. I've got everything maxed. Give me.
yeah. I'm just glad to think of having this number of options for a mount because I'm so used to not really. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's the mount from the boss and it's the mount. It's like that's it. But they've started putting mount like crafting materials inside of maps, and they've got bicolored gemstones, and we know there's new items coming to bicolored gemstones. So there's all sorts of possibilities. So whichever one it might be, I just hope it just seems like there's going to be a lot more cool mounts because there's still a PvP mount. There's a Malboro mount. There's the Porksy mount. There's the Hades mount. There's this. So there's going to be quite a few new for mount collectors popping up at this one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who else?
That new Chocobo barding too. My fucking Ravana barding's finally
That
getting
looks
retired.
sick.
I'm getting
That
a
looks
fucking
really
acid
sick.
Chocobo.
Dude,
That
it
is-
looks like Val Hazak or something with like the red draping off the front.
You're right. You were exactly right. Holy shit. I didn't even think about that until you said it. God damn, you were right.
But the real winner of the patch notes is this fucking meerkat. The most precious thing
I love it. It's
I've-
adorable.
I've ever seen with my life. That thing has a smile that could melt your soul. Fuck the goldfish. I don't give a fuck about the goldfish.
But they're the snack that smiles back.
I gotta go buy goldfish now.
Hey, I'm here for you, buddy.
Unless you got a bag of goldfish, you're not what I'm looking for right now. If you pull out a bag of goldfish, I was gonna lose my shit. He's looking. He's like, I gotta make sure. You never know.
I haven't had goldfish in years, man.
I combos are my go-to snack. I had those.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they remind me of Log
Damn.
from Angry Beaver.
Yeah, that's exactly. Oh my! Don't even do this to me right now.
I can't. All right, that's fine. We'll save the Angry Beavers conversation for another time. That would have fit in good with our puns earlier. Anyway, moving on. They are allowing us to trade in the 450 stuff for 460 equipment as well. This was something that they did in the later half of Stormblood. That was a welcome addition.
Oh yeah.
To the gearing process. So a lot of people may not know about this who are newer, but basically we have crafted gear now. It's 450. You can exchange it for tokens and then buy 460 gear that can't be pentamelded or anything, but it's useful. The big thing is for new players, you could buy like a weapon for like 200k and just get the tokens, and then buy like, gloves, boots, and an accessory. So you can make 3 pieces out of one purchase. So
Yeah.
pretty damn useful for catching up item level wise. And with the changes made to accessories this expansion, having the 2 materia slots is also just a pretty damn good choice altogether. Actually, I wonder, will this have 2 materia slots or 1? Because it's not raid or tombstone gear.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I just thought about that as I said it. It may only have 1 materia slot for that reason. So yeah, there's that to consider. What else was there? Favorites list to the market board. Fellowships, which I'm still... Whoever took these pictures, I don't ban them. The names of these fellowships, for the example, are Ready, Set, G-Pose, Minions Unions, Savengers, as in savage rating, Housing Enthusiast, and Elite Mark. Just, you're banned. Whoever did 2 of 5 of those, you're done. I'm done with you. All right?
I think they'll be useful, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to make one to announce my streams in game, probably.
That's a good call. I didn't think of
I really want to make one to do like
a lot of people want me to make one to announce when I go to take a shit, so that's cool.
God damn it.
You know what's funny? Before we went live, didn't we say this was... No, when I was streaming earlier, someone said when Tate comes on, is it poops of the realm? I said, no, it's shit of the realm. At least you gotta keep the S aspect of it. So I'm glad that somehow...
Join my fellow shit.
My fellow shit. Yeah, there you go. Join Tate. I don't think they're going to let you call it that in game, though.
I don't think they're going to let me call it that at all.
You're going to have to call it like fellow... No, they may even not let fellow poop.
They'll let you do the symbols. They'll let you do the symbols. So
Sly's like, I've got a workaround. Don't worry about this.
Yeah, there you
got
go.
you covered.
We're doing the old MMO style of getting around the censors.
Putting instead of potty time, you call it toddy time.
I'm good, man.
I'm reading chat, all right? That's not mine.
I'm good.
Chat,
I don't want to tell people I'm going to the potty because it makes me feel like a 6-year-old.
You're telling people you're going to take a shit.
And that makes me feel like an adult.
Yeah,
please understand.
I really can't debate that. He's right, because if it was a 6-year-old said that, like, those are bad parents. If an adult said it, I'm like, they've learned.
Yeah.
They know. They've seen some shit, apparently. Listen, that was the low-hanging fruit, Slyh. You should have seen that one coming. Yeah, but other than... I hope people use a savage rating in, like, hunts and maps, like the big reasons. Now even you just naming about the going live thing is actually pretty interesting, a good idea as well. So
yeah, I mean that's niche, obviously, but you know,
I mean, but it's still listen, any reason to use it. Like,
yeah,
when they add new social features, I'm like,
but I'm such a loner. Why would you do this to me?
Yeah, you're not wrong. For me at least. But it's just, I'm always worried that they're going to release something that's way more like Easternized than Westernized. Like, it just doesn't mesh with the way people interact over our region.
I've got to get my astrologian up because I'm going to lose my mentor crown, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Can we put all the mentors in a fellowship and no mentees so they can just all, like, ruin each other?
Yeah, it's called Novice Network, dude.
Can we make a fellowship called Novice Network, but it's only mentors, so it's completely like the other one? Perfect. They just make fucking posts all day, every day. That's perfect. Yeah, I don't even have. Do you actually have mentor status, Tate?
I do. I have mentor crown. Yeah, I don't put it on anymore because of the whole stigma.
I've gone to war with that system apparently in the last month.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, it's all right. You would trust you because if you're wearing it, I go, that's fine. Because
no, don't. I actually hate teaching people.
Okay, now
my problem is like I've grown so much disdain from like seeing people wear mentor crowns and then play fucking terribly. And I just immediately started disregarding the whole system. You
can be better. You must be better. You know,
I helped the guy out the other day. He said, "Hey, please be patient. I'm new." And I said, "No." And then
yeah, I saw that post. I saw that fucking post. I'm like, really? Are you fucking serious?
No, to be fair, okay. I did explain all the boss mechanics for the whole dungeon, and I got commendations. So, okay. All right, I'm a good mentor. I just don't wear the crown.
Heroes don't wear crowns.
Yeah.
Or capes or any of that. So one thing that they are adding that we don't really need to talk about too much is Silence Echo. You can silence Echo and going into old instances, so I had to click it off every single pull. Now, that's fine and all. That's great.
That's cool. But because I'm doing minimum eye level stuff here soon, and that'll be nice.
Yeah, I did minimum item level when it came out.
You got to prep for ultimate now, man. Got to do it again. Get that Pepsi Man min eye level.
He said, "Wait, he's way easier now." Somebody. I had trouble finding it. Someone linked to me the patch notes for 3.21, and I'm like, "Oh my god, they did all this."
Yeah. Well, that's bad. Like raids don't get nerfed anymore. Back in Heaven's Ward, it's like, oh, the 0.2 patch or the 0.1 patch is hitting. If you didn't clear raids, it's about to get way easier for you. But now they just, I mean, it's going to be elitist, but now they start easy. So
ain't wrong.
I didn't want to say it, but you know, compared to back then.
Excuse me, this is a casual show. Tate,
my bad, dude.
We don't subscribe to your idealistic means of playing Final Fantasy 14. We're gonna talk about Blue Mage and fishing. Okay, that's it.
I like both of those things. I just also like raiding.
I like one of those things.
Yeah, Blue Mage, right, Sly?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it. Speaking of Blue Mage, the Silence Echo they said would specifically play a role in Blue Mage when it comes to the update in 5.15. Obviously, we won't see much of that here, but I don't know if that's. Do you think that's just going to be a condition of the Blue Mage log? No Echo. That's just going to be like a thing they throw in there for like, oh, do Thorn
a condition, a condition, or they add the rate as which you get spells. Based on like no echo or anything like that.
You mean so like but it's already near 100% if you're doing it synced. So
they didn't. But did they say near 100% or did they give it?
The Carrier of Light unofficial translation summary says near 100%.
Okay.
So
yeah, you may be right.
I think it's probably going to be the Blue Mage log. Personally, yeah, Blue Mage gets to, so you get to progress Alexander in 3.11, then you get to go do all of Alexander as Blue Mage in 3.15. Oh no, I don't want to.
Great.
I don't want it.
I can't freaking wait, man.
I can't freaking wait. I'm so excited. I want to die.
Oh, howdy.
Aloha, not literally die.
That's how I'm gonna. My raid team is gonna get ready to do the mid-eye level stuff to prep and start building synergy for ultimate, and I'm just gonna be on Blue Mage.
See you guys later.
I played Dragoon. I don't need to remember anything. Come on.
Exactly.
I can't say anything because it's fucking true.
Yeah,
it's easy as hell. Feels good.
Right.
Feels good, man. Oh man. So one thing I kind of skipped over that I thought was hilarious, because we are coming up to our capped time. Why is Xehanort the quest giver for New Game Plus? Go to the
what? Hang on.
Yeah, scroll down.
Yeah, have you seen the screenshot?
Yeah, scroll down. It's not too far down. Just go to the top and then scroll down. Xehanort is the guy who gives you New Game Plus. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, but that's fucking Xehanort, but like in disguise. Like he's just.
Is there a picture?
Yeah, there's a picture of him. Yeah, it's not too far down.
It totally is.
Yeah, you just found him.
That's really funny.
And it feel like it's probably canon.
The wistful white beard.
Yeah, wistful white beard. Terra.
Just got like crusty Xehanort, man.
Open your heart, crusty. I don't. Crusty.
I need
Xehanort.
lotion.
I need lotion. Open your heart to lotion. I mean, the lotion could be a darkness, depending on the intent.
Oh,
yeah. There you go. The Keyblade here to protect the Keyblade. Yeah, and then a lot of the other stuff here is, they're adding new housing, new furnishing. There's a lot of quality of life that, like, it's hard. It's unfortunate that I don't appreciate some of this stuff more. Like, I appreciate Slice's right and skin change being gone more than a new housing district.
Wait, skin change is gone? They removed it?
Yes, skin change is being removed.
You said Slice is right, but that's the
Slice is right, the new one.
Yeah, yeah. No, I said
they're
adding.
Awesome.
I said they're adding Slice is right.
That looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, I wonder why Gilgamesh is. First of all, I'd like to remind everyone it doesn't make sense that he's in the gold saucer, but it doesn't have to because he should technically be in the first. But I don't give a shit because I don't need this lore explained to it. Someone's gonna ask Koji. It's gonna be like some bullshit like he hops between dimensions.
Oh, Yojimbo. They're just paying Yojimbo. That's actually Yojimbo. It's all good.
Yeah, no, it's the real one now. It's not. It's not the fake.
But it still uses Greg's music.
Yeah, I guess.
I missed that. That was a fun incident. That was fun finding that out at the
fan fest thing.
I almost said live letter for whatever reason. I couldn't stop myself. Yeah. Skin change being gone. I hate skin change. Is
that the only one that got removed, or were there others?
No, that's the only one. Yeah, because the only ones left are Cliffhanger, which is
skin
fine.
change sucked.
Yeah.
I like Cliffhanger.
Yeah, I hated it.
Cliffhanger's like Leap of Faith.
I like the Jump Quest ones because I like Jump Quests a lot. So Leap of Faith and Cliffhanger.
Why?
Dude, Ring Fit has a level where you have to jump up a tower by squatting, and it's like it literally is Kugane Tower.
Don't tell me that.
Don't worry,
I'm literally gonna play it after this.
It's like in World 5. There's 20 worlds. You'll be fine.
Okay, I'm probably gonna play for like 30 minutes and be like, well, that was stream, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, the wind blows is still around. Air Force One. I want Air Force One Extreme personally, or Air Force One Savage. I want like a super
that would be cool. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've actually hit their stride mostly with the Manderville Gold Saucer. There's some things that could still change.
The little instance mini games are all really cool. They've done a really good job with them.
We know they said they're going to do new locations for Leap of Faith, so there's we can look forward to that in the future. We know they are eventually going to release another new mini game for it altogether. Other than this, like they keep saying they have like more plans. I guess honestly, revisiting Chocobo racing might be kind of like one of the few remaining things they might want, and they can just let the Verminion die. No one cares. It's easy MGP every week.
Yeah, they can really dump that, honestly.
So I'm really glad they've hit their stride. I mean, even Mahjong, like it's not my thing, but I'm not gonna hate it. Not to mention 14's on top of this getting a rhythm game with the fucking performance feature to teach you how to play the instruments and play the songs.
Yo, they should make. I want a rhythm game like Gold Saucer thing, man. A gate.
Yeah.
God, that would be my dream.
Kind of like what we had in the seasonal event.
Kind of.
I think it was like last year.
I guess, yeah.
You don't do those, do you, Tate?
Which seasonal event? I do. I think
it was the Christmas one where we had to go to. It was either Christmas. I can't remember.
No,
we had to go to Gridania and we had to go to Gridania and do it for performance.
It was like a 30 button total song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I different remember it. It wasn't even like on beat or anything.
No, it was not.
It was really bad. I remember. I blocked it out of my memory.
Yeah. No one blames you for that. But yeah, I mean, to teach people how to play certain songs, they're adding an assistance mode where you have to play them at the right time. So we're getting closer and closer. They said people have requested rhythm games in 14 for like Theatrhythm. They literally want them to put Theatrhythm in.
I would love 14. That. I really like Theatrhythm.
Yeah, same here. It was the first 3DS game I ever had. The Garo collaboration ending, that's sorry if you haven't done it by this point. I mean, if you came late, it's unfortunate.
If you haven't done it by this point, you probably don't actually want to do it.
Or you're doing it right now and you're like, fuck, I have until Monday at 9 p.m. That's another thing. This patch is only 6 hours, by the way. Only a 6 hour downtime, 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. And the servers won't come up early because there's housing involved.
Yeah.
So there's that. But that's what happened to 24 hours every time.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I mean, normally I'm like, I can't wait for the day before because nobody's going to be able to play, so I'm going to stream whatever the fuck. Now I'm like, well, fuck, now I'm going to probably play that day, and I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, there's a new side story quest that's not really, it's just shrouded in question marks. I don't know what that's going to be for. It's just question mark from the question mark at level 80.
Just surprise Hildebrand. Oh, is that not going to be Beast Tribe or something like that? Maybe 24 man?
No, Beast Tribe was covered in a different section.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, the Beast Tribe's covered a little bit down for. So I
don't know.
Is
24 man.
I wonder if that's any sort of. The thing is, it says that it's something you'll find in patch 5.1. Like as you're going through 5.1's main scenario, you'll encounter this quest essentially. I can't help but wonder if it's either something to do with the Amarodians, like the ones that are still at the bottom in the Tempest, or if it's something that has to do with the Numo that we're going to be meeting in the Grand Cosmos.
It might just be the start of a branch that'll end up leading to like primals or something later on, kind of like
that could be the beginning of our teaser to let us know what the new primal equivalent, the new trial theme is going to be. Because we really don't have any sort of remote inclination with every previous expansion. We had it kind of figured. I feel we were able to predict Ramu, Leviathan, Shiva. That was easy. Moggle was the one that came out of fucking nowhere other than 1.0. Then it was easy to do the Warring Triad because of Azaz Law. And then and the Four Lords, everyone looked on the mini map and like said, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we fought those 4 dudes that look like the guys from Final Fantasy 11 instead of, their actual mythology. So that's a great point. I hadn't actually even thought about that. But with that, unfortunately, there are other things we could talk about, such as the interviews or any of the other various quality of life changes, because there are so many of them we did not get to. But we're at our 2-hour limit, which I have to play because we will not stop.
I'm free.
So, yeah. the shackles are off, Tate. The shackles are off. So one last time, if there's anything else, speak now or forever hold your peace. If not, I'm going to thank the sponsors. I'm going to thank Tate, and then everyone's going to say goodbye. We'll do a 5-minute post show, and then I'm going to go eat.
There's nothing on my end. Tate, what about you?
I'm good. We covered everything I was thinking about.
All right, excellent. We might have to incorporate the interviews into patch thing next week, but we'll see if it's even relevant come the time. But thank you, everyone, for joining us for this episode of State of the Realm. Again, we have a lot of very easy shows to kind of coordinate for the next several weeks. We obviously have patch first thoughts. Ultimate's going to be rolling around both preparation and post, release, on top of talking to the actual clear group, whoever actually ends up beating it, if they want to come on the show. Which is scaring me now, because in one of those interviews, Yoshi P said if at least one group could beat it, it'll be fine.
I feel like he talked up UCOB really big like that too, though.
And
I'm pretty sure
it fucked everyone in the ass a lot more than they expected.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I'm excited for it. Absolutely.
He did say it is longer than Uwu, the Alexander one. He said literally everything's there, like multiple times, like half a dozen times at this point. And he confirmed that it's more closely designed to UCOB overall in terms of... and he said that all of the devs really like robots, so they want to put that passion into the fight.
Hell yeah. I can't wait for intermissions, dude. Let's go.
He said, I'm sure people can't wait to see all the ways these robots can disassemble and reassemble themselves.
I'm excited. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, he's ready.
I can't wait till Cruise Chaser, Brute Justice, and Alexander all combine into one big thing.
I feel like Brute Justice riding in on Cruise Chaser's back says all you need to know before you even go in. So that's Slyh. Slyh looked like he had a micro condition of PTSD right there. You were on the static breaker side of all of this, so.
Mm-hmm.
My OG static didn't make it past 3, so.
I think we all ended up clearing Creator anyway.
Creator is another, we don't talk.
I got back when Midas came out, and I did Midas and Creator on content, but I never did finish Gordius.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I went the other way. I didn't do Midas until it was almost irrelevant because of after Gordius, I stopped. I was like, nope, fuck that. I'm done. I'll see you later, guys.
That's unfortunate too.
I did eventually do Midas on fucking Machinist before Creator came out, but
okay,
it was not pleasant. All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up the show for the week. One last call out. We already thanked our sponsor, Steel Series, at the beginning, but we also have to thank our patrons. Their names have been scrolling in the top right this entire time. And we also have... We also have... I don't know if you guys can hear. Our patrons... Yeah, I'm sure you can. Our patrons of Darkness, Khuja Cross on Jenova, and Kurenai Oni, with the same images we've had from them, because their images are good, so they don't need replacing, including the one with both Slyh and Ethis, because we have both of those present. That would be Khuja Cross right there. And then, of course, as Slyh loves me showing every week, actually, I think this is the Ethis one right here, and I need to go find the Slyh one, and I don't really want to do that.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Are
good.
You sure?
Yeah, it's past the time cap, so I think we're good.
It's past the time cap. Why do I have 2 of the Ethis one? I don't see it.
I don't know.
I think I deleted
Maybe
yours.
you love Ethis.
I don't know how that happened, but there's 2. All right, screw it. You get off easy this week, Slyh. That's fine. Thank you to our patrons of Darkness, on top of all of our other patrons and everyone who tunes into the show every week.
Can I see my tweet?
No.
God damn it.
We're not done with the show yet, lovely girlfriend. All right. So, Tate, thanks for joining us for this week.
Thanks for having me, man. It's always fun.
Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you at?
You could find me at at Goldentot everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, Goldentot on YouTube. I make highlight videos, a lot of Final Fantasy content, even some Beat Saber if you're into rhythm games. But yeah, that's a thing.
Well, thank you, and go enjoy that. I'm going to be tuning into your stream after this, as you so told us that you will be partaking in a particular vengeance against yourself. From what I understand.
Will you take me off screen, please? Holy shit!
I'm going to. I'm going to Slyh. I want to tell you tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me on twitch.tv/Slyh, aka Greyfox. I play a bunch of shit. I've been playing. I finished Nier Automata last week.
Yo, hell yeah, let's go.
Or did you finish it?
I finished it.
So you didn't.
Ending
you haven't
E
deleted anything.
I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I finished that. Started Trails of Cold Steel. What else? What else is coming up? Halloween's coming up, so my yearly tradition of being Sly Jennifer is a thing. So you'll get to see me with a wig and a dress in about a week.
Oh,
so,
hell yeah.
Hell fucking yeah. Oh, also, to all aspiring hunters in Monster Hunter World right now, if you are on PS4 and you are MR0, meaning you have not gotten to Iceborne yet, there will be an event next week. Like, it'll happen all week. Capcom's calling it Hunter Helper Week. And I will be hosted by Capcom on Monday and Friday.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'll be helping out people who haven't gotten to Iceborne yet, helping them, basically abuse monsters with all my master rank gear. I might just do challenge mode and just go back to like high rank gear and
you're not helping anyone.
Test us. True. Yeah, I'll stick with
the
my
helping Sly, not the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, you can get Guardian gear, which has massive defense and stats to carry you through the early parts.
There you go. So yeah, that'll be happening next Monday and Friday. So feel free to join me if you need any hunts. We're all about hunts and helping peeps. Haps, where can they find you?
You can find me, Mr. Happy1227, at Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram occasionally when I post there once every 7 months. I've been mostly doing Ring Fit Adventure as of late, which was a fitness RPG that came out for the Switch. I mentioned it on last week's show. It was the first day of week 2. So after Final Fantasy XIV in the mornings, been hopping into this and annihilating my body. It's hilarious listening to me yell at an imaginary ring and a dragon in a leotard. And that's been my life for the last week, and it's been fantastic. On top of that, just not too much else. Wanted to play in Outer Worlds, I don't think so. Waiting on 5.1 Ultimate, and then Pokemon, which is actually too close to Ultimate in my personal opinion. And that's my plan currently. I just want to make some videos and some content, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna kill myself with Ring Fuck here because he's an asshole.
Ring Fuck.
Trust me, you'll understand why I call him that when you get to playing. You'll understand. But that's going to be a wrap for this week's episode. We're going to move on over into a short post show. Now, next week, we will, as Sly said, he has a thing on Friday and Monday. So we're going to do the show on Thursday next week. A little bit weird, but want to make sure he has complete freedom of schedule for that Friday since, being hosted by Capcom, it's a good thing. So Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific for next week's episode of State of the Realm. And it'll be up on YouTube and iTunes and all that stuff on Friday. So thank you again, Tate, for joining us. We'll let you go after a short 5-minute post show. And everyone, we'll see you Thursday. Till then. Take care.
See you next week.
All right. They can still hear us, obviously, but